If I told you that a sequel to our beloved and favorite game, Minecraft, just got released a few days ago, you'd probably scratch your head and obviously respond with the answer of what? How could you have not been informed? Why isn't there anything regarding it on the official Minecraft Twitter or any Minecraft social media for that matter? Perhaps you'd even go as far as to check Notch's Twitter account to see if he's posted anything new about his in-development game that many have regarded as the fabled second Minecraft, or maybe you just simply think that I'm referring to Hytale, the anticipated or highly anticipated Minecraft killer that we've all been waiting on since it got announced in 2019. Or lastly, maybe you simply just not believe me. You'd presume I'm just messing around and this video was just clickbait. Well, sit back, relax, and grab some popcorn, because ladies and gentlemen, I'm really not. So welcome back everyone to what is yet again another brand new video on my channel. My name is of course CatmanJoe, and today, as I just mentioned, we are going to be talking about Minecraft 2, or the Minecraft sequel, or as it's more formally known, Crafting Block World Magic Dungeons Adventure. With a name like that, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Now, I was made aware of this beautiful, unique, and totally original game by a good friend of mine called Jason, or as he's known online, MVXZ, when he tweeted at me saying, "Just seen this is releasing on the Nintendo Switch on July 13th. Looks pretty familiar, huh?" Followed by 4 photos that did look strikingly similar to a certain block game we all love. Now, since that tweet was made, obviously the game has been released worldwide on the Nintendo Switch at the incredibly generous price of, get this, are you ready for it? $8.99. I honestly couldn't believe my eyes either when I saw that the world-known game developer Me Games was releasing such art at such a low price. Before we get started with the game itself though, for those of you who aren't immediately familiar with Me Games and their game-changing back catalogue of work, they've released such cult classics as Zombies in City Apocalypse Survival, ZIC Zombies in City, Mahjong Connect On It Puzzle, Sokoban Block Puzzle, Brick Breaker Ball Shooter, Chess Classic Board Game, Elite Soldier Shooter, Backgammon Board Game Puzzle, Solitaire Classic Card Game, Air Hockey Arcade Casual Board Game, and finally Connect Dots Puzzle Classic Casual Arcade. To say I've been a fan of their work for years would be an understatement and a blatant lie, as they've actually only been in development or developing games for less than a year actually. But let's stop chatting about our favorite game studio and get started with what I'm sure will be a life-changing experience of a game. Ah, look at that. A beautiful panorama of a blocky world. So unique. I'm gonna cut the sarcasm now, because if I didn't, this entire video would be filled with it. You know, when I initially bought this game, I actually, I guess foolishly and naively I suppose, thought that the developers might have even tried to make it somewhat unique, you know, make it less of a Minecraft clone and more of a game that's inspired by Minecraft, but no. Instead, the developers opted to copy the Minecraft panorama home screen, but instead of copying everything else the Minecraft home screen has, like, I don't know, maybe a settings section to learn the controls for the game, or even add in a button that we actually can press that says start the game, they just slapped their knockoff Minecraft logo on the screen and added the text press to play. And this raises the obvious question of press what? My nose? My cat? Be specific at least. Now, provided you do manage to find something to press, you'll then get to what I guess we can call the start section. Serious question though, what is this? Like, you've given us 2 square boxes with different photos in them, but no text to clarify which each one is or has inside of it. Just the text choose world at the top of the screen, so you can either choose between caveman or skeleton. For my choice, I went with the skeleton, and my god did it suck. You spawn in what I believe to be a randomly generated world, much like Minecraft, and I'm not sure why, but at night, the first thing you'll notice is the unbelievable level of sheer plagiarism this game has. From the grass blocks, birch wood, oak wood slabs, cobblestone slabs, crafting bench, furnace, chest, brick, sand, sandstone slabs, and even coal ore, they all look like they've been straight up lifted directly from Minecraft. It's funny because the only things they actually haven't stolen and had to make themselves, or have either probably taken from somewhere else, so I guess we'll never know, are either complete garbage or look like they shouldn't even be in the game. For example, the ripped off versions of zombies, spiders, skeletons, pigs, chickens, cows, and wolves all look like they've been quickly made in Blender. They are so rigid and sharp that it is actually kind of strange and weirdly also kind of creepy. It makes it look like the mob isn't actually meant to be in the game itself, or that it's kind of unfinished. And their textures, don't even get me started. The textures for the mobs are so bland that it looks like they've been done with a crayon. Half of the time they're either one entire color, and the other half of the time they're either 1 to 3 different colors, and that's it. I'm not kidding, by the way. Look at the zombie, for example. The zombie has 3 different colors: blue for their skin, yellow for their t-shirt, and brown for the pants, and that's it. The spiders are just completely black with red eyes and a slight tinge of grey for the fangs, and that's it. The pigs, they are just pink. The chickens are white with a smudge of yellow and red. The cows are white with grey, and the wolves literally are just grey. Now, I really must mention this. I don't know if this was actually done intentionally, or if the developers themselves just didn't even care and went, you know, hey, whatever, man, we'll just leave the wolves entirely grey. Like, you know, no one's going to notice, are they? I mean, maybe they'll never find one in the game like the skeletons, but we'll come back to that later. But like, there isn't even a smudge of texture on the wolves. They're entirely gray, right? Like entirely gray. Like some spots or even just a couple of patches could have been added to them to make them look a little bit more unique or textured, or as if they've not just been really unmade or unfinished kind of thing. But no, they just left the wolves entirely grey. Now, you might have noticed that I never actually showed skeletons, and how I just mentioned how, it'll be difficult to find skeletons if you can find any. And the reason for that is because I'm honestly convinced that the developers forgot to add the skeleton to the game. I know. It's insane to actually expect the developers to remember to actually add one of the 3 enemies. But what can I say? I've got standards. But seriously, jokes aside and whatnot, I played this game for over 5 hours straight to make this review and never once encountered a single skeleton, excluding when I chose the world at the start. So continuing on with the missing skeleton enemies, let's talk about some other seemingly missing features that I couldn't find during my entire playthrough. The first was the magic dungeons adventure we were promised. See, the start of the title for the game says crafting block world, which is true. The developers managed to make that part of the game, albeit by completely making a complete carbon copy ripoff of Minecraft, but the end of the title is where I think they've just forgotten everything. The problem is there is no magic. There are no witches, no potions, no spells, no enchantments, nothing magical. There are also no dungeons, no mob spawners, no boss areas, no hidden loot. Again, it's not there. And when it comes down to the adventure part of the game, they also partially lied, unfortunately. And I know you're probably thinking, Joe, with the word adventure, it's so vague. They could definitely have adventure in the game. You can have adventure regardless. It doesn't have to be a thing that's added. You can wander. Well, actually, for the description of the game, they added that the adventure aspect was a lot greater than what it actually is. Let me read it to you. It says this on the official Nintendo game description for the game itself. Crafting Block World is an adventure with sandbox elements that help you build your ideal world. Explore the vast block world full of mysteries and interesting places, endless plains, dense forests, dark caves. Your adventures know no boundaries. Find a comfortable place and start building. Ah yes, the endless plains that do actually end. The blocky world with literally not a single generated structure to discover, or the many mysteries such as, why did I pay for this game when it's free on both mobile and Steam? Also, real quick, as for the description mentioning dark caves, I've got no clue what they are talking about. I never once in my entire playthrough found a single dark cave, or a single cave, never mind a dark one. It's complete garbage that sells itself as a creative game in the hopes that some parent dumb enough will buy it as a replacement for Minecraft. Ironically enough, actually, after typing up this script, I actually took a minute to read the reviews on Steam, where the game is now free to download, and one of the most liked reviews said this: Me, Mum, can I have Minecraft? Mum, we have Minecraft at home. Minecraft at home. So I know we just talked about all the missing features, but let's now talk about all the useless ones. Believe it or not, the developers actually had time to add completely useless features to the game, but couldn't find the time to add the missing features. I know, huge shocker to me also. Let's begin with an interesting one: food. Why is it in the game? See, they added hearts like Minecraft to represent the player's health, which makes sense, and I'm not criticizing that, because if they didn't actually add that, it would be kind of silly, because where would you know how much health you've got? But the thing is, they never actually added a hunger bar. So why is food needed? Now, in case you're curious, no, food doesn't actually restore hearts like what it did in Minecraft before the hunger bar was added. And even if it did, you still wouldn't need to eat, as your health is constantly regenerating. And this isn't because I'm playing on peaceful either, or the game is on easy mode, or something like that. There is no choice for game modes when you start it, so this is just how the game works, meaning that food is completely useless. Another useless feature is leather and feathers. See, when I found out that we could get leather from killing cows, I thought, well, wait a minute, maybe we can make some armor or item frames like in Minecraft. And the answer was actually no. Leather has literally no purpose whatsoever. It's not used to craft anything or tame any animals. It's just entirely useless, believe it or not, which along with food makes cows, or makes animals like the cow and pig, both entirely useless mobs. Then there was the feather. See, when I killed the chicken for the first time and got one, I immediately thought, hey, if there's skeletons in the game with bows, we should be able to make our own bows, and obviously arrows, of course, but no. And speaking of bows, you can craft sticks, and spiders do drop string, so you would think you could make bows, but you can't. In fact, you can't make anything with string, making it again another useless feature along with chickens now. And lastly, I wanted to mention the game's 2 different glass blocks. Now, this might seem like a bit of an odd kind of nitpick here to come on with, but just bear with me. See, one of the glass choices we have is a glass pane. It's thin, looks nice, and is useful for seeing what is outside. While the other one is literally just smoke in a block. Why would you make this and use it? It's not able to be looked through, it's ugly as hell, and it just doesn't make any sense. It looks like your house is on fire from the outside or the inside. Is that the entire kind of deal that we're trying to go with here? Is that the entire vibe? Or am I meant to just make a house that's getting hotboxed in? Like, I don't understand the purpose behind this. Now, I'm sure you'd be as surprised as I was when I found out that the game does actually have a progression system, albeit an incredibly terrible one. See, when you start a new world, you are level 1, and this means you are limited to what you can craft. So imagine this, the already terrible crafting game with a selection of literally 4 different wood types, with each type having its own plank variant and slab variant, then sand and sandstone and its slab variants, then cobblestone and bricks, is now giving you even slower access to those already pathetically low creative blocks. You really couldn't make this up. At level 1 though, you can craft wooden tools, a crafting bench, all wood plank variants, and some other basic small things like torches and sticks. Which, I can't lie, sticking with sticks for a minute, no pun intended there, I honestly thought that they were one of Arnold's stogies at first.
I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
But then to get to the best tools in the game, the god tier tools you could say, you need to be, drumroll please, level 2, which will mean you'll only need to gain just 500 XP. Also, these god tier tools, in case you are curious, are just stone tools because the game only has 2 resources for tools, obviously. Now, in case you're curious as to how XP can be earned, if it's incredibly difficult or if it's really easy or whatnot, there's a number of different ways it can be earned. The best is by killing actual hostile mobs such as the spider and zombie. Killing an enemy mob will give you 100 XP, which is in and of itself not bad, but it means you're only going to have to kill 5 enemies to get the best tools in the game, which kind of is a bit OP. Then if you go down, it goes killing a passive mob such as a chicken, pig, wolf, or cow will give you 15 XP. Breaking or placing any block will give you 5 XP, and killing yourself gives you infinite XP. Just kidding about that last one, obviously. So what legendary crafting recipes are locked behind level 2, you ask? Well, prepare yourself. Wooden slabs, cobblestone slabs, brick slabs, sandstone slabs, windows, doors, clay block, chest, furnace, sandstone, bricks, and a bed. I'm not even kidding, that is it. Now, as a small reminder here, the best tools in the game got locked behind level 2. So how many levels would you think the developers would put a small thing such as a bed behind? Maybe level 3, level 4, maybe level 5? How about trying level 14? Oh, and the developers didn't just stop at the bed either at level 14. They also added windows and doors behind level 14. Then beneath that, level 12, you can finally unlock wooden slabs, cobblestone slabs, sandstone slabs, and brick slabs. Then at level 8, you can unlock the ability to craft bricks and sandstone. Level 6 lets you craft a clay block. And lastly, at level 4, you'll be able to finally craft a chest and a furnace. So this means between unlocking the best tools in the game at level 2 and unlocking the bed, door, and actual usable glass as opposed to smoke in a block, we have 12 levels with basically absolutely nothing useful to gain. The only value leveling up actually does is it gives you spendable XP. See, to make this entire progression system even more terrible, the developers thought, well, maybe we'll add a function for XP, such as you need it to buy certain unlocks when you reach the right level to unlock them. So for reaching level 2, we can get the best tools in the game, but we only get 2 XP points to spend. But to unlock the ability to craft each tool, we'll need to spend 1 XP point on each tool. So we can only craft 2 tools, meaning we have to grind to level 3, where we'll unlock another 2 XP, meaning we can craft the other 2 tools. It's an incredibly dumb and annoying system that I'm convinced was only added to slow down player progression and fatten up the playtime. But if you're curious, here are the specific XP requirements needed to complete each level. To complete level 1, like what we talked about already, you'll need 500 XP. To complete level 2, you'll need 1000 XP. Level 3, 1510 XP. Level 4, you'll need 2030 XP. Level 5, you'll need 2561 XP. Level 6, 3102 XP. Level 7, 3654 XP. Level 8, 4217 XP. Level 9, 4791 XP. Level 10, 5377 XP. Level 11, 5975 XP. And level 12, get this, 6584 XP. And to complete level 13, you're going to need an additional 7206 XP. So in total, the XP needed to complete level 13 and reach level 14 so that you can actually craft everything the game has to offer is 49,507 XP. To give you some options, you would either need to break or place 9,901.4 blocks or kill 3,300.46667 animals or kill 495.07 enemies. All of that work just to unlock a bed, door, and usable glass. What an absolute waste of time. So before we end the review, I wanted to cover the very end of the game and the weird experiences I found. Now in my playthrough, I didn't actually die once. I played non-stop for 5 hours, and by the end of my playthrough, I actually had built myself a nice little house, terraformed the land all around me, and deeply upset the Lorax. However, one thing I noticed was how the game seemingly broke down the further I progressed. From the start, I'd been experiencing jittering, which was just kind of normal, but by the end of my time playing it, it became way more frequent to the point where it was just hard to not notice. Additionally, I noticed something strange with the leveling up system, and that was that I actually broke. See, after reaching level 14 and unlocking everything the game has to offer, I presumed I no longer have any more levels to reach, but I was wrong. There was in fact a level 15, so to complete level 14 and get to level 15, I had to get 7,840 XP, which was okay, I managed to do that. And then to complete level 15 and get to level 16, I had to do it all over again and get 7,840 XP once again. But this time, when I reached that number of XP, it just kept going up until 8,450. Level 16's XP bar just didn't exist, but I reached it somehow. And then that's when things got, to say the least, just weird. Perhaps the developers just never expected someone to play this long without deleting their game or getting thrown in a lunatic asylum, or perhaps it was just a purposeful choice made by the developers to reward you for playing all the way to the end. But I gained the ability to duplicate anything I wanted. All I had to do was place an item, then break it and hold in the breaking button, and the game would just continuously glitch, dropping more of the item. And I tried this with slabs, glass, torches, wood, and even coal ore, and it all kept duplicating. Then I tried something else which I hadn't tried throughout my entire playthrough, and that was actually just dying. See, normally when you die, you lose all your items until you can obviously go get them back, of course, and then of course you lose all your XP fully as well, and spawn back at the spawn point at the beginning of the world, but that didn't happen for me. I'm not fully sure if it was because I had placed a bed or what it was, but I just couldn't die. Like, don't get me wrong, I could be killed, but then I would just respawn right back where I just died with all my items, XP, and full health. So it was incredibly strange. It wasn't like I was respawning in my house or on my bed, it was literally right back where I just died. So who knows if this was a glitch or a feature, I guess we'll never know. One other aspect of the game that I didn't quite cover was its other world. You might remember at the start of this video I mentioned how there was two different world options, one with the skeleton and one with the caveman. Now the reason I haven't fixated on the caveman version or the caveman world until the very end of this review is because I honestly barely played it. I spent 5 hours of my 5.5 hour session playing this game on the skeleton world, and only for the last 30 minutes playing the caveman one. The caveman world though is literally just the exact same as the skeleton world except retextured, and that's it. There are still only 2 enemy mobs, this time being instead of the zombie you have the caveman, instead of the spider you have a velociraptor. There is no new blocks to discover or new mechanics either, everything is literally the exact same but retextured slightly, so I didn't feel the need to really spend hours playing this world or dedicate a huge section of this script towards it either. Crafting Block World Magic Dungeons Adventure is at best a mediocre carbon copy of Minecraft that goes as far as stealing assets from the game it so desperately wants to be, and at worst a plagiarizing money grab that promises things it never will deliver. It has basically no originality whatsoever, with one exception being its caveman world type, which is thankfully a little more unique than the skeleton version, but it still lacks any direction or care for one. It tries nothing new and doesn't even manage to keep up with what it promises to deliver. It has useless features that don't bring anything of value to the game like leather, feathers, and string, yet it doesn't have much needed core features such as a proper hunger system, so there's an actual reason for eating food. If I had to rate this game out of a buy now, wait for sale, or never touch scale, I'd probably say never touch, even with a 10-foot pole, and if you do, request a refund as quickly as possible, and if you are lucky enough to get one, run. Me games are incredibly lucky that the Nintendo Store sucks and doesn't allow refunds, or else I would have refunded this game the minute I loaded up and seen its pathetic attempt at a knockoff Minecraft home screen. I'm both honestly amazed and also highly disappointed that this game even managed to make it onto the Nintendo Store, as it's a literal knockoff version of Minecraft that hopefully one day Mojang manages to get pulled down. It really makes me question the care for quality control the Nintendo Store supposedly has. And with that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching it. If you did go to enjoy it, please share it with your friends, drop a like, and leave a comment letting me know what your thoughts are on Crafting Block World. Will you be buying it? Do you think it will overtake Minecraft as the most successful game of all time? Let me know down below. Additionally, if anyone is interested in trying this dumpster fire of a game for themselves, I'd highly recommend doing so via either the Steam store or one of the APK downloads you can find online for mobile. Do not buy this game ever. And lastly, with that all being said and done, guys, be sure to subscribe, turn the notification bells to notify when I release any new content on the channel. And other than that, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you peeps later on.